There's no such thing as clean code. Everyone seems to be striving for clean code at the moment. You can't read a blog post without the author telling you how clean their approach is. Engineering teams get together and discuss which of the possible solutions is the cleanest. Other developers assure you that they practice clean code. You know, I really want to coin a term, and I really want people to use this more often. I think we should drop clean code at some point, and I think we should adopt the phrase whiteboard masturbation. I really feel like this is the wave, okay? This is truly what programmers want to do, okay? They want it. They want it so bad. They just want to do it all day, and that's it. It's just so good. No, I don't want circle jerking because that's not quite as good as whiteboard masturbation, right? Whiteboard masturbation perfectly describes it. I've come to a realization, though. There's no such thing as clean code. Yep, clean isn't a measure of anything useful. Let's go. Code can't be clean simply because clean doesn't describe anything about code. So there's two things that I think is really fantastic. It sounds like this article, Steve on stuff, you don't know that clean code is like literally like TM, right? There's like a TM clean code. Uncle Bob, clean code, like there's a strategy, right? But second, he's also completely correct. No matter how much you try to make a clean code, your code is just horrible. Every time. What a hypocrite. I'm not innocent myself. I used the term clean plenty of times in the past. I also want to make it clear that I'm not trying to disparage anyone who uses the term. Oh, I hate prefaces. As a marketing term or a description of a vision or ethos, clean is great. As a technical term, though, I got some issues. Yeah, your title already said that. Clean code is good code, right? When people describe code as clean, they usually mean that the code is good in some way. The thing is, code can be good for a variety of reasons. It could be readable, understandable, simple, performance, safe, elegant, testable, encapsulated. Elegant is definitely eye of the beholder. Scalable, maintainable, reusable, easy to delete. I love this last one. Neat and tidy, non-invasive, systematic. Okay, now you're just using words I don't even understand. Consistent, and any number of things. Okay. But these traits are in some way at odds with each other. The most simple code is probably not the most testable code. Is that true? I would argue the opposite. All those interfaces and injected dependencies make for convenient testing, but have a cost in terms of simplicity. This is where I think the clean code movement did everybody a disservice. Dependency injection doesn't fix a lot of things. Okay, JavaScript was a mistake is what I'm trying to say. Your heavy reliance on singletons may make things easy to understand, but it might not lead to maintainable application. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It could be argued that some of these things are fundamentally opposing forces that can't be satisfied simultaneously. Engineering is about trade-offs, so we've got to be aware of trade-offs we're proposing and able to discuss them as a team. You know, I feel like this is the catch-all argument of every article you read. Every article by every engineer always uses this as a way to avoid actually saying something. Do you know what I mean? It's always like, well, you should be able to discuss the trade-offs. That's not actually saying something. Right? You're not actually saying anything. You're literally saying this code is clean, but in a different way. You didn't say anything. If the code is good, we've got to say why. Okay, now, there you go. But it depends. I know, it depends, but then you got to say the depends. Right? When someone says this, like, you got to say, hey, you know what? Dependency injection, 9 out of 10 times, bad idea. Throw that in there. Throw something else in there. Do something, right? Make a statement. Give your reasoning. Make a hill. Stand on it. When somebody says a solution, oh, I gotta crack my back. Oh yeah. When someone says a solution is clean, they often touting it as the superior option without being able to rationalize why. I love that. I want to have a constructive discussion around technical solutions. Then we've got to be able to articulate to each other why one solution is better than the other. Honestly, I don't want this. Real talk. I don't want this. You know what I want? I want you to write a library. I want you to have an interface that you don't break, and if you do break it, you have to have a good reason why. And I never want to think about what stupid-ass code you wrote. I don't care. You know why? Because when it comes time to do something with it, we all know what's going to happen anyways. You're going to add something, realize you are completely wrong, rewrite the entire damn thing anyways, probably in Rust, and we're going to move on, and nobody cared. Nobody cared then. Nobody cares now. Stop arguing over the dumbest things in the universe on pull requests, and just try to think of the system as a whole. I just can't handle the dumbness in these things. Okay? It's no good arguing over which solution is the cleanest, as if there's, let's see, as if we should get our cleanometer out and weigh up each solution according to this mysterious metric. It's actually quite difficult to express sometimes why one approach is better or worse than another. It's a skill that is worth honing. Sure, yeah. It's really about your interface. I really don't care what the code looks like on the inside. At the end of the day, like, if I'm maintaining it, I want it to look kind of the way I like. If you're maintaining it and you like how it looks and you can maintain it, I don't care. I like Solution X. It decouples the error message presentation from the core logic. It's easier to understand because you don't have to consider both at the same time. The separation also unlocks some testability, as we can mock either object. Mocking is you've already literally lost your life whilst testing the other. It does not come at the expense of requiring the parent object to inject the dependencies, but it's a worthwhile trade-off for testability. Mocks, more like scoffs. The second statement is actually conveying something tangible about the pros and cons of the solution we're discussing. Terms like clean allow us to cop out rather than working on to improve our ability to articulate our ideas. I like that. That's great. Good job. We need to use precise terms. Let's go. Coding is generally a team sport. If you are hacking away on your own, then you can do what you want. But when we are working with a team, then we've got to discuss our ideas. Being able to have discussion about technical solutions using a language that is specific and has a common understanding throughout the team is invaluable in understanding one another. I remember I recently got attacked on the internet by somebody promoting some library to do a lot of, like, his monoid got stuck in some endo functor. We're not really sure what happened. Anyways, this library reminds me of RxJS, and he got really upset. And one of his counterpoints was, oh yeah? Well, why don't you create a throttled function that has exponential backoff? And it's just like, hey man, I've done that once in my lifetime. That's not a reason to use this, right? That's not a reason to use this. What are you talking about, right? It's like one of those things where people think something looks clean or good or great, and you want to use it everywhere because that solution is the thing that makes you feel good. And then you have these weird justifications for why you like this one solution, and I don't understand why you want that one solution, okay? I'm sorry. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to use everything for this one theoretical case that could be pretty difficult to solve. I'm on your team. You're right. Creating a throttled, bleeding edge value debounced function, not super easy, right? Takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of thought. But does that mean we need to use that hammer everywhere, right? Clean code means that a different thing to everyone. Absolutely, because that was the argument was made to me, which was this makes clean code. And I'm like, I don't know if it makes clean code. To me, it makes unclean code. To some developers, code is clean because it has a well-defined architecture. To other developers, code is clean simply because it uses consistent formatting style. Okay, I mean, that's just crazy. Get a formatter. I use Prettier when I have to do TypeScript, and I set my own things like 80-line max and stuff like that because that's what I like. And if you don't like it, off, right? Like, I don't care. Words like encapsulated, testable, mockable, reusable, I'd mock your mockable, have meanings that we can all agree on. When we use more specific words that describe the various code traits that affect our project, then we can be sure that we're all on the same page. I prefer the term like cringe. I can't think of anything else, because my small meme brain can't think of any other words other than cringe. Okay, either your code's cringe or it's not cringe, okay? I'm a no cringe code guy, okay? That's just facts. Clean has the same level of precision as good. You can, unbased. It's either based or cringe. What do you got? You got cringe code or base code? You can say that code is good, just as you say that it's clean. But that doesn't absolve you from having to justify which more concrete rationale. Yep, I love that. What is clean code? So I think that one thing that I think is kind of funny in this whole thing, again, I mentioned it earlier, I really don't think this person realizes clean code is a style, right? Is a book, is a style. It is a thing, right? I've come to the conclusion that often we describe code as clean when we think it's good, but we're not entirely sure why. It just feels like the right solution. Sometimes we do not know why code is good. We can't find the words to articulate it, and somehow the conclusion of our blog post just reads, "See, look how much cleaner it is." It's good to build that intuition. But we can't just stop there. We need to dig deeper beyond those feelings. Okay, so I actually do want to take something really, really quickly here. So for me, this is like web development reality right now, which is what I see in a lot of articles is that you see this final product, and it's like one line to do something, one line to display something, and like that's it. And the final product looks so good. And you're like, wow, I get that. But then on the back end, it's like 200,000 lines of code of state management tools that are abstracted over every possible solution for your one single little to-do list item that needs to either be deleted or completed. Like, right? Like, it's just like an enormous amount of all these things put together for you to be able to have like 2 lines of code right here. And it feels clean. It looks nice. But in reality, it's like there's so much going on. Yeah, it's the facade pattern gone wrong. You really feel like you're just like, oh, look how nice this is. I often find that when I get into that solution, when I'm striving towards that in a personal project or in a tool I'm making for Netflix, by the way, I work on Netflix, by the way, I know for a fact that I have done something wrong, right? That's always actually an indicator for me that I'm doing the wrong thing. Like, I truly am doing the wrong thing. Because often what that means is that when I want to refactor, I've created an abstracted mess that when it comes time to refactor, my life is miserable. The only time you should see 1 line or 2 lines or 3 lines is in your main function. Your main function goes, give me the CLI args, shit it into the thing, the end. Literally the Homer Simpson meme. Yeah, I know developers love it. I don't know, it's crazy. I really like this, the idea behind this, which is that, let me sum up this article a little bit better for you. Figure out a way to start articulating why one code approach is better than another. And the thing is stop using the words DX. DX is the modern clean code, right? That's the new version, okay? So this is 2022. In 2023, we use the term DX. DX has been gaining steam over the last few years, and now it is like the pinnacle, right? You just can use DX, always. Like, watch this. I bet you I could tweet something like DX at all costs. And people are going to agree with this dumb thing. Why? I don't know why they would do that. Why would you agree with that? Okay? It should be customers. Because at the end of the day, no one cares how ergonomic your code is. They care that you build something people actually like. Okay? That's what happens at the end of the day. Okay? And so it's just like, you see this all the time, and it's just wild to me, right? It's just wild to me. I don't know. Anyways, stop trying to use terms like DX and all that crap. Instead, do something simpler, right? Describe why something is good or why it's not good. DX equals developer masturbation. That's true. It's very, very true. DirectX is losing that SEO. I know they're losing it so hard. Yeah, and that's how it works. Hi, by the way, first-time chatter. Well, hey, Warner, how you doing? The name is, well, I mean, it's kind of funny that we just got done reading an article about being able to use your terms better, and then you're also accidentally using a term and then imbuing a different meaning upon it, not realizing that clean code has a specific meaning and actually has an entire ethos around it. But I do really like the idea of what you're trying to say, and so therefore I do appreciate the article again.